dimensional on the right side because the way her suit comes in, so just so they know. Last time they say it's so soon, but that
make it work. However, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to like put it.
It's fine. Just put it where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Did you already put it on?
Yeah, it's on there.
Alright, cool. I mean, she talks pretty loud, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you do that.
Talk loud.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because someone was supposed to find a picture of Jeff mentoring a younger driver.
Oh, nice.
Like, he's not mentoring.
Not
he's
at all.
Totally guessing it out right now.
You guys are good whenever you want to go on stage.
Okay. Just walking through there. All right, y'all. Welcome to the Amp Up the 88 live video chat powered by Amp Energy, where each week we host a live video chat with a member of the 88 team, and you, the fans, get to ask the questions. So if you haven't done so yet, log in and start submitting your questions. This week, we're chatting with Adam Emmert, front tire changer for the 88 team. But before we start, I'm Miss Sprint Cup Paige Duke. I'm so glad to be back again. You see us in Victory Lane congratulating the driver, and you might follow us on Facebook or Twitter. So if you don't, make sure you do that. Find out more about us. I'm so thankful Amp invited me to be back again, but we're going to get started. So Joe 12, he wants to know, what is the hardest part about changing the front tire?
Hardest part about changing the front tire is probably the brake dust. You go to your short tracks, there's an awful lot of braking to stop these, 3,500-pound cars getting in the corner, and it creates a lot of brake dust. So when we're hitting lugs, the brake dust kind of, covers the lugs for a second. So you're kind of blind for a little bit. You get started on your pattern, you go. So as long as you don't panic and you just go through your pattern, knock off all the lugs, and everything's good. But that's probably the hardest part.
Hardest part?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sun VGG has a question. When do you arrive for the races?
Most of the time we'll go in Sunday morning. We'll leave about 5 in the morning. Get up, get on the plane, we'll fly there, get all the tires ready, and go in, eat lunch, have a Pepsi, and go out and do our thing.
5 o'clock Sunday mornings.
Usually get back somewhere around 8 or 9, 10, depending on where the race is. West Coast races will go out a day early.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
That makes it a little easier.
Yeah, because that was a long flight.
Yeah.
Good thing you're sponsored by Amp.
Yeah.
Wake you up in the morning.
Oh yeah, it helps.
Our little Amp juice we have right here, it does help in the morning, and it's good. It's good with your breakfast. Let's see. Grossy25 has a question. Are you excited for the Pepsi Max 400?
Oh yeah, California's great. Big, don't have a lot of brake dust. You go out there, we get to go out there a day early, so we're rested up, and it's just, the atmosphere out there is great, all the people are great, and it's just a fun race to go to. A little different being on the West Coast.
I hate I'm missing it. Monica and Amanda will be there, but it's a fun race. I like going to. What are y'all's goals for the weekend? Do you have the team goals where you'd like to finish, or what you're looking forward to?
We'd like to go out there and at least get a top 15, and then you kind of see how it is in practice. The car's good, and they'll build on it, and then we go in there and say, okay, let's push this thing up to the front.
Okay, all right. Mike 34, you have a question for us. How do you practice, and what do you need during the race?
We usually practice 2 to 3 times a week. We'll do about 6 stops a day. Third day is kind of optional, depends on rain and who's all there and everything. But and then as far as what do I need, you got to stay hydrated, especially in the summer months when it gets real hot. You drink your Gatorade and water, and keep yourself hydrated, and that keeps you ready. You put on a fire suit and it's out there 100 degrees. I mean, you're in one now, so
I know.
It just helps keep all those fluids in you. So.
Okay, and when you practice, do you have any tire changing simulations, or do you just go out with your air gun and practice on an old car, or how's that work?
We have a pit stop area. They drive a car in. We have regular tires glued up, and we go through different scenarios like adjustments in the back, adjustments in the front. We'll do an out of gas stop in case that ever happens. We have several different scenarios. We almost have a playbook now. If you're doing this adjustment and this adjustment, then the catch can guy does this one, and the rear carrier does this one, and the changer has to help roll a tire or do whatever. So it looks a lot simpler on TV. It looks real simple,
I
but
have tried. I can vouch for that.
as you go, there's a lot more behind the
Yeah.
scenes. So.
All right, yeah, I know you have to prepare for any type of situation, I guess, y'all get yourself into in practice. Let's see, Sally 12, your question is, are there any specific exercises you do to prepare for the race?
At the racetrack, just kind of stretching, a lot of stretching, just get your muscles warmed up. You know, as it gets into the fall here, it'll get colder. You definitely don't want to, you know, pull something because it's cool in the summertime. You know, it's just a matter of keeping hydrated and stuff. So, and as far as our training goes during the week, you know, we'll lift weights. We do a lot of cardio, just stuff to make it a little easier on us for, you know, when it's hot and all the running around we do. You know, we're hauling tires out to pit road and doing all that stuff during the week or on Sunday before the race. So.
Yeah. Have you ever hurt yourself really bad, like pulled a muscle or anything? Your worst injury?
Not at the racetrack.
Okay.
Not really too bad. They're pretty good. We have trainers and all that, you know, work all that out. And if we ever get too bad, we gotta say, hey, you know, don't wanna hurt the process. So.
Yeah. All right, Seth 24. How heavy is the tire?
A tire without an interliner, short track tire, is about right around 60 pounds, and one with an interliner adds about 12 more pounds. So I think it's around 72.
Oh man.
So.
That's a lot of tires y'all have to carry. All right, Rachel 88, your question is, how long does it take you to change a tire?
One tire, like a right side stop, what we call a good stop is 550 and below. I think our fastest right side this year has been like a 485.
Oh.
And then, you know, it takes a little longer because you got to run around the car to do the left. So, you know, somewhere the fastest you can do if you're pulling tires, you can get down around 4 flat, but generally between 4 and 5.
All right. Let's see. Alex 15, what tools do you use to change the tire?
Really the only tool I use is an impact. It's just like you'll see them in the garage when they're changing your tire on a regular passenger car, and they're in there, but they got big heavy ones, and ours are lighter and made for speed. So then of course our jack man carries a jack, he gets the car up, and you know the gas men have their gas cans and everything. So.
All right, let's see. Kimmy Form, do you have any problems related to the races on the West Coast, i.e. example, time changes?
No, not generally. I mean, sometimes it does get hard, like when you go to a night race on the West Coast, you're starting at the time, you know, people are almost getting ready to go to bed. But like what I'll personally do is I'll start kind of mimicking my week like that, trying to stay up a little bit later so I'm used to sleeping in. And that way when you go out there that day before, you know, you'll stay up a little bit later and get up late. And
well, that's smart.
Try to acclimate yourself as best as possible.
And you were saying, he was saying night races. I asked him when his favorite time was to drink amp. Over there you have, which This is my favorite right here is the Lightning, sugar-free. Coaches don't like the pounds on us, so you know. Yeah, but he was saying for a night race, some of the guys will chug them, you know, right after the national anthem or something. But you said your time is at night races when you need an extra boost to get you through the night. Yeah, so, that's definitely the time. About halfway through the race. Especially West Coast time. All right. Let's see. Mark 88 wants to know, what is your favorite track and why?
I like a lot of them, but probably the Bristol night race is one of my favorites. It's just there's so many people there, and they're all so close to you. Yeah. It just the energy and excitement. It's just you feel it. It's great. I know. I love that track too. It's fun. It's fun. It's like a big football field, you know. So you can feel all the energy. It pumps you up for it. Let's see, Chris 21. Your question is, what is your favorite part of your job? Favorite part of my job. Favorite part of my job is probably, you know, being out there and being on the amp crew. We get a lot of, we have a lot of fans. So it's great to have all the kids come up there. Yeah. That's my favorite part is when the kids come up there and they're all shy and, you know, they want an autograph,
Yeah,
and it's
they
like,
just
hey,
look
come here, you
down.
know, and
I
put them
know.
on the ladder, grab a hold of them, and they're all got a big old smile on their
Yeah.
face. It's great.
Their
That's
dad's
my
like,
favorite
go
part.
get a picture with
Yeah.
them. They're like, no,
I don't want
I know. Finally run over there. All right, let's see. Jake 87, what did you do before this job?
I was actually in college before I started racing, going to school for engineering, and some friends of mine that were I worked with that had a sawmill down there that I logged with in the summer to pay for school, decided they were going to go racing. So I kind of came up through the ranks with them. So I've been doing it for a while now, but I guess the last actual job I had other than racing would have been logging to pay for my school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How long have you been changing tires? If it's not going to give away your age or anything.
I've been changing tires for about 12 years now.
Okay.
So, and about 9 of it in Cup.
And went for school for engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever help out the crew chief, giving some calculations?
Oh, those guys are so specialized now.
They are. I
They got so
know.
many programs and stuff. It's amazing, you know, from
Yes.
where it started. So,
All right. Meg 21, your question is there a difference between the front tire and the rear tire?
the brake dust is the biggest one,
Okay.
and then camber. Sometimes I forget about is rear tires are pretty much straight. They're on a fixed axle, whereas on the front, the right front's leaned into the car, and the left front's kind of leaned out of the car. So they're both leaned this way if you're sitting in the driver's seat. So you got to kind of change the angle of your gun when you're hitting lug nuts. Whereas if you're in the rear, you're pretty much straight.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I never thought about having to change the angle of your gun on that. Let's see. Kimmy Form's question, do team members stay in the motor coach lot or hotels?
We usually stay in hotels. The motor coach lot is pretty much drivers and crew chiefs and owners and stuff like that.
It'll
So.
be packed if all y'all are
Yeah.
there. Fun times. All right. Jeff 98, you have a question? What is your favorite part about training for the pit crew? Keeps you in shape.
Yeah, that's probably the best part. Let's see. I don't know. I've always enjoyed, staying in shape and working out, and just it makes you feel. I enjoy the feeling of getting done with the workout and coming back in kind of that endorphins afterward, I guess. So
Yeah.
and it's part of the job. So
Is
they
it
pay us to
two
do
birds
it.
with one stone? I
What else can
know.
you want?
I know it. All right, Sun VGG, your question, do you pit practice with bent wheels or flats?
Not generally. Basically because, we'd have to bring those back from the track and it would beat up the pit practice car so bad to try and bring it in on flat tires. We have taken like cars that we were going to cut up or cars that were at the end of the year were done and took them down there and actually beat them up and then come in and say, okay, how will we fix this?
Yeah.
We've done that before just to give us a little better way, and not make everybody go through the work of actually having to beat up a race car and repair it. So, but we have done that.
Cool. All right, good question. Sarah 13 wants to know, what was your first job ever before college, paying for the school?
Let's see. Probably, I think it was actually baling hay. We had.
Where are you from?
I'm from Idaho.
Okay.
So it was loggers and farmers, a lot of
Yeah.
it. My parents had a gas station and stuff, but mowing lawns for them, and probably other than my parents would be bucking bales for some farmers up there in the summertime, keep me out of trouble.
I know what you mean. All right, Sun VGG, another question. Have you always done fronts?
Pretty much. I'll do rears occasionally, just try something different. Coaches will mix it up, but they generally kind of get one you like more than the other. And I've done fronts for so long, I'm just kind of used to it. So.
And even with the brake dust and all, it's worse in the front, you said?
Yeah,
And
usually.
you still rather do that? Yeah.
I don't have to run and jump on my knees like those guys in the rear do.
All right. Makes
That's the
sense.
real secret. So.
All right, Jess 18, you want to know, do you have any superstitions when it comes to training or race day?
No, not really. I mean, I've kind of learned, you know, I'll wear like the same clothes and this and that, but you know, I don't get too into the superstitions.
Yeah.
I always feel like, you know, they train us to be good, and it's a lot of it's just getting the right mental focus
Right.
and to go over the wall. So, and if you let superstitions kind of creep in there, sometimes I don't know if that's the right mental focus
I
or not.
I know it. All right. DRL D. Bower, what track do you think is the most dangerous pit road?
Martinsville is probably one of the tightest.
Oh, yeah.
It's that's probably the worst because you're coming around corners and everything's so tight there. But you know, the biggest thing is all these drivers are really good, and you know, you kind of get down there and you just, you know, they're so good now that it's like you trust them. You have to, you know, and they go out there and they're running 180 and they trust each other. So but I guess you still got to watch when you're running out there sometimes, and there's the car in front of you is coming right next to them, and you got that much space. You got to make sure you stay in that space. So they'll give you room. You just got to know where to be.
All right. Mark 24, what is on your iPod?
What is on my iPod? I'm a country fan, so
Idaho.
yeah. Jason Aldean.
Me too.
I don't know, Tracy Atkins. I like some old stuff, some Sawyer Brown, stuff like that. I like Johnny Cash and stuff, but I'm more current country, I guess.
Is that what you listen to get you pumped up too? Your country?
Yeah, I'll listen to some rock, usually older school rock, you know. But I like Nickelback and some of those too.
All right.
A little bit of everything.
Let's see. Gracie 25, how old were you when you first started getting involved with racing?
I was 19.
19?
Yep.
Right out of high school.
Out of college. I did a year and a half of college. I graduated when I was 17, so.
All right. Well, guys, we're midway through the chat. Today's AmpUp88.com live video chat powered by Amp Energy. I'm Miss Sprint Cup here with Adam Emmert, front tire changer for the 88 team. Answering your questions. Make sure to keep sending them in. Y'all are sending some great questions today. But we have another one right now from Chris 8, wants to know, how have you seen the pit crew training evolve?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Over 12 years you've been doing it.
Honestly, when I first started, I started out as a jack man because I was one of the bigger guys on the team.
Really?
Yeah. And they're like, okay, here, you can do this. And you just kind of pick people out that were changers and carriers, and it was smaller teams and stuff. And then we had a guy come in after like the first year, and he was like, he jacked. So they're like, well, we want you to try and change. Okay. So we, you know, went to changing, and it was never work out. It was about practice, maybe 3 or 4 times a year when you got a chance, and then just do it at the racetrack. And since then, it's, you know, then coaches come into it, and then working out and staying in shape and everything. So it become just more professional, I guess.
Yeah. How long would you say it took you from going from a jackman to a tire changer to actually perfect tire changing, to get it down to under, what, 4 seconds or something?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever perfected. I don't want to get stale, you know, because they're always coming up with something new. So it's about always trying to push yourself to be better. No matter how good you are, the second you think you're good enough, all of a sudden you're going to look up and it's like, whoa, everybody's going faster than me. What am I doing now? So just the little things. Always look for the next thing that'll help you a little bit, whether it's training or a way of doing things during a pit stop.
All right. Let's see. Sun VGG, what's your gun preference and how heavy is it?
I use a Brunhosel. I think they're about 8 pounds, 7.5 pounds right in there. I like it just because it seems to be a good gun for me. I've used them for a long time. Just personal preference, you know. A lot of guys use different types of gun, and that's just the one I like. So. All
right. Let's see. Another question from Sun BGG. How do you simulate the gun in the weight room?
I have done like different movements where you slide sideways and put bands around your legs and then hold like a small ball. just to get used to, like, as the car's coming in, you know, you're kind of moving with it,
Yeah.
picking out a lug nut, but you got your hands around this, so
Okay.
you don't really want to, you know, you'll have the gun triggered up, so it's ready to go
Mhm.
when you hit the first one. And that way it keeps your body used to not having your arms to help steady yourself.
All right. Let's see. George C. 33. What is your favorite part of racing?
Favorite part of racing? Definitely race day. You know, you
Yeah.
get out there with all the fans and everybody's excited to be there, and just the atmosphere is great. you
Yeah,
know.
the energy. It's
Yeah.
so much different being there in person.
Mhm.
So it's so exciting. It
Oh,
builds
yeah.
it up in you and makes you happy, you know.
Mhm. It's like you say, like a football game or something like that.
Yeah.
You just get all that electricity in there. And some tracks are, the fans are closer, and anytime they're close like that, it just kind of gives you that little more pump up, you know.
Yes. All right, Sun VGG. Will cordless guns ever be used in racing, and why or why not? It'd be a lot easier on y'all.
I'm not saying they won't. The
Yeah.
biggest thing is they would have to have the battery packs. I think would have to be so much stronger than they are now to spin them fast enough to do all that, and not be so heavy that we couldn't go as fast as we needed to with our hand
Yeah.
speed. I think.
All
So,
right.
but
Maybe in the future. Who knows what
Maybe.
they come out with. All right, Marissa 13. What do you like to do in your free time?
I like outdoor activities.
Mhm.
I like to go ride a dirt bike. Lately my oldest kid just turned 7, so we've been doing more
Aw.
baseball and
Uh-huh.
some of that. I tried kite surfing this year for the first time, one of our weekends off.
yeah.
That was fun.
Where
so
did you do that at?
I went down to the Outer Banks.
Outer Banks?
Yeah,
that does look fun.
it was fun. It's hard,
Yeah.
but I need to go back again and try it. So,
I know. I go to Myrtle Beach and I see people doing it. I'm like, gosh, that looks like so much fun.
oh, it is.
All right. Let's see. John 18. Any funny stories about pitting the 88 or about the other pit crew members? Got some dirt.
Yeah. Let's see. On pit road, everything's gotten so professional. It used to be when we were rolling tires and stuff like that. Every once in a while, you might have somebody roll one into your box, so you'd roll one back into their box the next stop. But since kind of all that's went away, now it's like it's very professional on pit road. We try and keep it light behind the wall, you know. You don't want to. It's like you don't want to get too tense, so we'll be back there and kind of joke with each other. And every once in a while, we'll get hot and take a water and dump it down the back of somebody or whatever, just to keep
Cool it
everything
down.
light, cool
Yeah.
down. So.
All right. Alex 18 wants to know what is your most memorable racing moment?
Oh, probably winning Michigan with Junior. That first win when I come over, that was great coming over that first time and going to victory lane with them.
That's the first time you came over?
No, that was just winning with him there.
Okay,
It was cool,
okay.
and the crowd going crazy and
Yeah.
everything. So,
I
and
know.
then we also pitted his car at Daytona this year
Mm-hmm.
and in the Busch race, and that was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool too. So.
Oh, so y'all, did he bring the whole team or just certain members for the
The
Busch
pit
ride?
crew.
That's cool. Well, that's exciting. I was there, so it was fun. All right. Mike 18, where is your favorite place to travel? I guess, I don't know, race-wise, and then just to go get away for a...
Race-wise, I like going to Indy,
Mhm.
just because there's so much history there and
Yeah.
everything, and you kind of feel that same sort of electricity there sometimes, and just walking in the place on the golf course and all that's just really neat. Favorite place to go? I don't know. That kind of changes throughout the year. Probably right now, I'd like to go back to the Outer Banks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go try that out.
All right. Seth 44. What track do you most want to win at?
Probably Indy. I'd like to go win Indy.
Go kiss the bricks.
Go kiss the bricks. Yeah, it's. I mean, Daytona would be a special one too,
Yeah.
but there's so much drafting and so much stuff that's almost out of your control there. So, like you go win Indy, it just feels like you were one of the best that
Yeah.
day, and everybody pushes hard to win that one. So.
All right. Let's see. Dale88 wants to know, how does working with Dale compare to other drivers? Or who else have you worked with? And
I've worked with Greg Biffle and David Reagan, John Andretti. I like working with Dale. He's invited us out to his place. We went go-kart riding out there, and that was really neat. It's just as the years go by, it's like the drivers get so much demands on their time that you don't see as much of them as you did 10 years ago. So, but he's a good guy, you know.
Good country boy.
Oh yeah,
he
fits
is.
in with my style.
Yeah.
So.
I know. All right, Son VGG, do you always have to listen to TJ and JR during the race, or own channel for you?
Yeah, I do. We listen to all that. We got to keep up with what's going on. Some people will actually scan other teams just so they know what they're doing. I got in trouble with that one time. I was
Did you miss something important?
Well, I was over changing tires, and over on the right side I heard 2, which for us means, okay, you're going from a 4-tire stop to a 2-tire stop. So I get up and I run over to the wall, and I'm standing there, and there goes the jack man and the rear changer.
No.
I'm like, uh-oh. So I dive in and do it, and the crew chief's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I heard 2. So ever since that, I just one radio station. That's it.
That's a funny story. Did you get in there in time?
Yeah, I was a little bit behind.
Okay.
I got fussed out, but I was also doing what the crew chief wanted at the time, so I kind of had a little bit of a card to get out of jail.
All right. Let's see. Sarah 14. If you ran NASCAR, what would you change or keep?
I think NASCAR does a pretty good job. They're working hard on trying to evolve everything to, keep the fans in it and make it exciting. As far as what would I change, I don't know. I've been so long trying to adapt to the changes they make. I don't know. I think they do a pretty good job.
Good job?
Yeah.
Happy with it?
I'm pretty happy with
it. All right. Sally 18. Do you work in the shop? If so, what do you do?
I set up the race cars, which basically means that I align all the tires, put the rear end in the car straight, set the caster on the front, the camber, which is how the wheels lean, set the toe, which is, in and out on the front, track bar, and set the heights. Each tire's got kind of a specific weight the crew chiefs are looking for, so we set that and move all the lead and tungsten in the right spot. Basically just take a setup and put it in the car the way they want, and then ship it out, and the road guys will nut and bolt the cars and send them to the racetrack.
All right. Let's see. Mark 14. When you watch film to study pit stops, what do you look for?
I generally, I'll generally just watch myself, watch the front, make sure I'm landing right, landing square to the car, not moving when I'm trying to hit lug nuts, just kind of making sure that all my movements are precise. And my biggest thing is not getting too close to the tire. That's my personal thing. If I get too close, I kind of get wound up and it gets hard to hit. So that's usually what I look for the most.
All right. Let's see. Al 88. What do you consider a perfect pit stop? Is there such a thing?
There is. It's just a matter of, everybody doing their job perfect. And that's the hard part about the whole thing is you got 7 guys, and, in one stop I'm hitting 20 nuts, so I got to do that right, not miss. Carrier's got to hit the tire, hit the studs. Jackman's, got to hit his posts and, come around fast. And it's just, I've been involved in a few of them, but it's like, it's so hard to get all 7 guys to do everything perfect. And it does happen. When it does, you get up and it's like, whoo.
So y'all know it happens when it's done.
Yeah, because everybody gets up and they're like, yeah, come on, go. We're going to make some spots here.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Seth 44, did you have a favorite driver growing up?
Yeah, probably watching Dale. I mean, and, probably watching him as much as anybody. Just the way he did things and the way he presented himself, was obviously cool. And Richard Petty, how he is with fans. He's just a really good guy. Probably those guys, I guess.
All right, it's nice to be working here then, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Beck beat 555. If you could work another position on the 88 team, what would it be?
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of working the position I'd like to be in. Engineers, they have all the stuff they have now. I would kind of like to see some of that, but as far as honestly, I'm pretty happy doing what I'm doing. I've, been crew chiefs in lesser series, and they got a lot of headaches, and so I enjoy doing what I'm doing.
All right. Let's see. Sam 18. What is your favorite food and your place to eat?
Oh, favorite food.
Idaho potatoes.
Yeah, I get a lot of that. Favorite food. I like chicken wings. I eat a lot of salads, but I can't say they're my favorite.
Yeah, me too. I know.
I don't know. I really like wings. I like Buffalo Wild Wings. It's probably one of my favorite places right now to eat. That kind of varies.
Yeah, that's nice. They're everywhere. We always seem to go to them too, and it's a fun place to go to. All right, guys. Well, race fans, that will be it for this week. Remember to check back in next week right here at ampupthe88.com. We'll be chatting with TJ Majors, spotter for the 88 team, and we can't wait to see you. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch us today, and we'll be looking for you this weekend.
Thank you.